And one thing that I learned is when God blesses me with information, I have to bless everyone else because he's the one that gives me the value information. And when I give the value information to more, I'm blessing more people and I'm spreading the word of God, right? I'm spreading the information that he gave me and the value. And now other people can thrive on what I learned from God. And it's just a cycle, right? I'm just building that ecosystem of winners, right? People that are digital hustling and making money online. You feel me? Make sure that you're not being caught in this loop with anything that you have going on. Like I said, right? A lot of people don't start a business because they don't have any money. They don't have any money because they don't start a business. People don't go to the gym because they don't know what to do in the gym. You don't know what to do in the gym because you don't go to the gym. It's that simple. Like, you just have to start. And over time, you're going to start learning and start developing yourself. What's good, YouTube? It is Digital Hustler back with another video, and y'all look in today's video. As you can see by the title, if you're in between the ages from 16 to 35, this video is for you. In this video, I will be giving y'all financial advice, something that I have learned between my 4 years of entrepreneurship. As y'all seen by my channel, as you can go back to the first ever video that I ever dropped to where I am now, you can just see the development that I had over time, right? Now, all these developments that I done had, yes, communication, delivery, just being able to just present the information that I have in my mind to just speak it out and just tell y'all what's going on, show y'all what's going on. But in this video, I more so have advice that y'all can take from day one, so from today to the rest of your life. Now, like I said, in between the ages from 16 all the way to 35, or even actually older or even younger than 16, honestly. But the reason why I said 16, usually people don't start working until the age of 16. So that's why I did start off with 16, but you can really take this, it's universal, basically. That's what all I'm trying to say. This financial advice that I'm giving y'all, like I said, is something that I have learned over time, not only just from myself and personal experiences, but looking at what the rich do and what the wealthy people always talk about within their videos, podcasts, shows, and like I said, right, just what I've experienced and what I've seen for myself. People may be like, who are you to give us advice? Listen, I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur that's been doing business for about 2 to 3 years with clothing brand, YouTube channel, and Forex trading. And I've really developed myself over this time where once I got out of high school, I didn't want to go to college. I focused more so on my business and working. And now I built this empire for myself that I had developed so many skills. And don't focus where I'm at right now. Just pay attention to where I'm at in the next 2 to 3 years, because you'll see the development, you'll see the growth, you'll see the change over time. And I'm confident enough in myself to say that. So stay tuned, right? If you don't think that this game that I'm giving you is reliable, stay tuned. That's all I have to say. DHS going on top. So number one, the first tip that I have for y'all, I have 6 tips for y'all today, is build your credit. Build your credit, y'all. Build your credit. I cannot stress that enough. Like, anything that you want to buy within this world, we could take it from a house to a car to furniture to, equipment, right? I have a camera right in front of me that I got from our credit card, is literally on credit. Like, they really use credit just to see how reliable you is with money. A lot of people are actually scared of credit, which that doesn't need to be the case. Credit is not this bad thing that you just need to like stay away from and not use just because, oh, I have bad spending problems, which, I mean, that can be a variable to having good credit, bad credit, but you're gonna learn over time how to become better with managing your money. And if you're ultimately scared of money, how are you supposed to ever make more money for yourself to actually get into that process of making more money, right? One thing that I've learned as well, and this is outside of the 6 tips, right, is that a lot of people live in this loop, right? I made a video about this. I think it was like 80% of people live in this loop. I don't want to start a business because I don't have any money, but I don't have any money because I don't want to start a business. I have bad credit, or I haven't started my credit because I'm scared of credit, but I'm scared of credit because I haven't started my credit, right? It's the same thing. A lot of people live in this loop of being afraid of one thing, but don't realize the reason why they're not successful in that thing is because they're afraid, and them being afraid is stopping them from getting their success. So with that being said, make sure that you're not being caught in this loop with anything that you have going on. Like I said, right, A lot of people don't start a business because they don't have any money. They don't have any money because they don't start a business. People don't go to the gym because they don't know what to do in the gym. You don't know what to do in the gym because you don't go to the gym. It's that simple. Like, you just have to start. And over time, you're gonna start learning and start developing yourself. Now, with this building your credit, always make sure you remain under 30% of your credit limit. So whatever your credit limit is, always make sure you stay below 30%. And I say this because you don't want to get to a point where you spending too much, and then you're trying to pay all of that back, and it's hard for you to do so because you went over the limit, and also your credit starts decreasing if you go over that 30% limit and start spending too much money. Because, like I said, all the credit bureaus are looking at, and the banks, is how reliable you are with money. The higher your score is, the more money they give you, and the more money they give you, that means you can spend more. So always make sure that you always stay under that 30% limit, right? The second tip that I have for y'all is stop spending debit and use your credit card for everything, literally everything. So that can go from food to clothes, car payments, insurance payments. If you're going out, let's say paying for gas, use your credit card, use your credit card, use your credit card. I cannot stress this enough. Stop using debit. Your debit, as soon as you spend debit is gone. Like, you cannot bring that money back. Let's say somebody scanned your debit card. It's gonna be very, very difficult for your bank to help you retrieve that money. However, when you use a credit card, your credit card, you don't actually lose that money until you pay the credit card off, okay? So, you're spending everything on credit. Make sure that you actually have the money that you're spending on the credit card. Don't go and spend $10,000 on a car and you don't have $10,000 in the bank. That's not smart, okay? Now, if you are someone that has a job and you make, let's say, $2,000 a week, and you go spend $4,000 on a car, but you don't have that full $4,000 just yet. If you already have $2,000 in your bank, and you're gonna get paid another $2,000 next week, then you know what I'm saying? Like, of course that makes sense, like, because you're gonna have the money over time. But if you're spending a large sum of money right then and there, and that money is not going to be able to come back to you in a fast, I wouldn't even say fast, but that money will not come back to you in a decent time frame, do not spend that money, because at that point it's going to be way harder for you to pay off that credit card over time, okay? So what I say is stop spending your money on your debit card, use your credit card for everything. Now for BS, so let's say like things for like shoes or things that you necessarily don't need or don't need to be buying, then of course, then you can use your debit card. So for example, like me, right? I like shoes, I'm a sneakerhead. If I'm gonna go buy some shoes, then I'll spend that money on my debit card, because I know that on my credit card, it's not gonna look too good for the credit bureaus, or even if I'm trying to write that off in the long run. I have a clothing brand, so I really could write that off, but that's not the same thing for everyone, right? Everyone doesn't have a clothing brand. I could use that as, oh, I'm gonna buy these shoes to go do a photo shoot. I'm gonna go buy these shoes to promote myself because I have a event coming up, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to be using your debit card at all, because you're just spending your money, right? You're just spending your money. However, when your credit, you can actually get points, you can get rewards, and like I said, all of this is going to be tracked by the banks and stuff like that, and they're going to see that you're actually reliable with money once you pay off that credit card, or once you keep that 30% limit on that credit. So tip number 3 is get a Roth IRA outside your 401k. Now, all a Roth IRA is the same thing as a 401k. It's just that it's not connected to your job. Now, if you don't know what a 401k is or a Roth IRA, a 401k is basically a retirement plan that your job has for you, where they pretty much take payments out of your payments, right? Out of your earnings. So let's say you work for a full week, they're gonna take a small percentage of that check and throw into a separate account, and that's gonna build over time. Some companies do like a 50-50 plan, or they actually throw money in there with you and they just build up that money, so when you retire, you have something to lean back on. However, I do recommend people to get a Roth IRA, which is the same thing, like I said, it's just that it's not connected to your bank, and instead you are the one that's putting money into that account. It really all depends up to you how much money you want to be putting. I believe they have like weekly, I know they have monthly because that's the one that I use, but I believe they have weekly ones. But what you're doing is you're just putting up money. It could be a small percentage. Like me, I put up $50 a month, right? Just $50 a month into a whole separate account of my Roth IRA. Mind you, I still have my job, which I have my 401k as well. And you're just putting that money up so when you retire, I think mine's ends when I turn 36, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just literally $50 every single month into that account. And then that grows over time by itself. And I don't touch that money. I don't pay attention to it. I just let it do what it do. When the money comes out of my account, I barely even notice because it's just $50 a month that they taking out. And like I said, once you get to that point where you're coming towards retirement, or like I said, if you have a shorter time frame with your Roth IRA, you will have a lump sum of money that you can either go invest, go build your house with, or whatever you want to do with that money, right? I'm not telling y'all what to do with that money. I'm just saying that you want to invest into your future with these 6 steps and with these 6 tips, and you will see a great return in your investment. I promise you. I'm 21 right now. I'm finna turn 22 in like 5 days. So with that being said, just me knowing this such a young age, it's truly a blessing. And one thing that I learned is when God blesses me with information, I have to bless everyone else, because he's the one that gives me the value information. And when I give the value information to more, I'm blessing more people, and I'm spreading the word of God, right? I'm spreading the information that he gave me and the value. And now other people can thrive on what I learned from God, and it's just a cycle, right? I'm just building that ecosystem of winners, right? People that are digital hustling and making money online. You feel me? But let's go on to tip number 4, which is save at least 3 figures a week into a whole separate account. Don't touch this money until 2 to 3 years, okay? So, for example, I put up $150 every single week into a whole separate account. That account is building over time. In 2 to 3 years, I will have at least, in 2 years, I will have around $10,000 in that account. In 3 years, mind you, this is just $100. This is not even the whole extra $50 that I put it in, right? With $100, if you put $100 a week into a whole separate account, you can have $10,000 in 2 years. In 3 years, you can have around like 14.5K if you put in up $100 to a separate account each week. And it's automatic, right? They just take it from my bank, and it just does what it does. I don't touch this money. I don't look at it. I just let it do what it do. And if you save at least 3 figures a week into a whole separate account, over time, you're just gonna see how that money starts building up. And the same thing with the Roth IRA and the 401k. Once you get this lump sum of money, it's all up to you and what you want to do. I would say throw it into investment, throw it into something else that can return you more money. So when you do, coming into retirement and stuff like that, you won't have to work anymore. And let's be honest, right? We all spend at least $100 a day on some bullshit, or at least $100 a week on some bullshit. Let's just be honest, right? So you spending $100, bad terminology. If you're investing $100 into your future every single week, putting that $100 up, and you don't touch it for 2 to 3 years, you could possibly have $10,000 if you wait 2 years. If you wait 3 years, that's around 14.5K that you will have in 3 years from just putting $100 a week into a whole separate account. And by that time, either you can go get you an apartment, invest some money, get you a new car. You know what I'm saying? That could be a down payment on a car. Or if you build your credit, like I said before, you won't have to put any money down on your new car, and instead you have 4, 5, 6 months in advance of your car note because you save your money up, right? You invested your money over time. That's tip number 4. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not hard at all. I feel like all of these is very self-explanatory. If you do have questions, you can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, you can go on Instagram and just search it up, and they can give you more information. Or if you want to learn from me, DM me on Instagram at al.wavy, and I got y'all, man. I got y'all, no cap. Tip number 5. And this one is kind of the most complicated out of every single one of these, just because it's something that we are not taught at all, right? I had to learn this personally myself within the business that I was in, which is I Am Academy. I had a lot of great people, a lot of great leaders in there that I learned from, and they helped me, build my LLC and everything. But tip number 5 is get an LLC or an S-Corp. It is literally cheaper than a pair of Jordans. Y'all, look, in the state, bro, in the country. I know in the state of Texas, I know that getting the LLC is $300. S-Corp, I believe it was like $100 to $300 for an S-Corp. I'm not sure how much an S-Corp is. I don't have an S-Corp. I have an LLC, and that's why I said if you have any questions on this, go to YouTube. Literally, go to YouTube. You can learn so much. But in the state of Texas, to get an LLC is $300. To get your DBA is $26. To get your EIN is free once you get your DBA or once you get your LLC. I forgot which one it was, right? But it's free. So a DBA is doing business as. So once you go to your courthouse, right, any courthouse that is around you, and you say, hey, I would like to get my DBA, like I said, in Houston, it's $26. You tell them, hey, I want to get my DBA. DBA is, like I said before, it stands as doing business as. And I tell them, hey, I want to do my DBA as in clothing. They understand that I am going into the business of a clothing brand, right? Digital hustlers. With that being said, once I get my DBA, then I can get my LLC, which is $300, like I said before. And now I can go to my bank and get a whole separate account to where I can start my clothing brand business and not have my personal money and my clothing brand money mixed up together. It will be separate. So if someone tried to sue you for something that partook within your business, it won't be attached to your name because it's two separate entities, right? Limited liability company. I mean, for my clothing brand, nobody can really sue me because I sell clothes. But let's say like you do foods or something, right? If somebody gets an allergic reaction, they may try to sue you, but they're not necessarily suing you as the individual. They're suing your company, so your personal image will be okay. Like you will be safe because they will be going towards a business, and that's why you want to have the LLC set up to save you from that. Because there are some people out there that don't listen, don't read the fine print, don't really pay attention to what's going on, and they try to bash you whole time. They just wasn't paying attention, and that's why you need that LLC to not only just protect yourself, but then you can actually have the banks fund you money to help you grow your business over time. And then you can write off a lot of your expenses because you have that LLC set up and you have that separate bank account to where now you have all your payments and your transactions in one single place, and you doing your taxes is going to be way easier. So you want to have that LLC or a S-Corp set up to do these things. And like I said before, you want to learn more about it, go on YouTube. There's hundreds of videos that will literally teach y'all about LLC and S-Corp. Right now, I'm just giving y'all the tips. It's your job to go do some research and studying, to go get some more information. Last but not least, the last tip that I have for y'all is if you're grinding for your family, get a life insurance policy that the money you've accumulated will go to your family. I have a life insurance policy that if something was to happen to me, my money is gonna go either to my mom or my little sister. Why? Because I'm someone that has a high net worth, meaning that I make a lot of money. I also know a lot of people within my network, which help me make more money for myself, right? And over time, as I continue to keep developing myself as this entrepreneur, my money is gonna keep accumulating that I don't want to lose everything that I just built. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just have all of these things that I work hard for, and then something happens to me, and then now everything just went back to the trash. Everything went to zero. No, I want whatever I built for myself to either go to my mom or my little sister, because at that point I would rest in peace knowing that whatever I did within the time that I was here actually meant something for my family. So you do want to have a life insurance policy set up. I have mine that where I put $50 every single month into a whole separate account. I don't even think they know about it. I don't even think my parents know about it. Or my little sister, of course. I don't even think they know about it, but I do have that set up to where if something was to happen, they'll have that money paid out to them. It is something that is safe and sound because I'm actually an insurance agent. I can get you car insurance, home insurance, life insurance, anything that you can think of, annuities. Tap in, man. Even for the Roth IRA, if you're looking to get a Roth IRA, you don't know where to go, tap in with your boy on Instagram at al.wavy. I could get you that Roth IRA set up with my mentor, and we can get you going. But look, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully I enjoyed these 6 tips. I'm going to say them one more time. Build your credit and remain under that 30% limit. Number 2, stop spending your debit card and use your credit card for everything except bullshit. Number 3, get a Roth IRA outside your 401k. Number 4, save at least 3 figures a week into a whole separate account and don't touch this money until 2 to 3 years later. Number 5, get an LLC or an S-Corp, literally cheaper than a pair of Jordans. No cap, y'all. Like a pair of Jordans at least gonna cost you $350 to $400. A LLC is $300. A DBA is $26. And number 6, the 6th tip is if you're grinding for your family, get a life insurance policy that the money you accumulated will go to your family. Hopefully I enjoyed this video. Hopefully I enjoyed this financial advice that has helped me a lot within my life and what I have going on for myself. Y'all traders, man, y'all keep protecting the markets and everybody else, man. Y'all stay safe. DHS is out. Yeah.